So what the government did systematically over this time is they centrally controlled everything, had all the money, and they introduced what they call, breakfast cereal, Kellogg's. Everyone loves their Kellogg's. The Kellogg's actually have a foundation, and they have a model. They call it the integrated logic model, which they kind of it's seen as a better way, efficient way to conduct business within the marketplace. So this Centre for Effective Services were paid millions by the government, and they introduced this model into the community sector, which meant that they were looking for key performance indicators, inputs, outputs, and best value for money. In 2010, this report came out. Does anyone here work in the community sector, by the way? Ever look for money off Pobble, for instance, or CCAP, or nothing like that? Okay. So what happened is they had to. I'm going too fast now, even for myself. So what would end up happening effectively? They centralized and they brought in a computer piece of software called Iris. This sounds spectacularly Orwellian. And what that practically means is if you're a community worker and you're trying to access money, you're looking for value for money, which effectively means a good price per person, and you input it into the computer, all that data, and the government will keep hold of that data and give you money based on the value for money per person that you're giving the service to. Effectively, that means I also work in Freuga. I don't know if anyone here knows Freuga. It's a national youth service that works with disadvantaged kids from, 10 to 24-year-olds. So what that means in a practical sense, what happened with us is if you deal with someone who is in a lot of trouble, who's 10 years old, 11 years old, comes from like a very troubled house, they're not going to school or anything, they need one-on-one attention. That's not good value for money. So what you're going to do is you're going to get the kids and the teenagers who aren't a problem. You can deal with 10 of them to one worker who's also on a CE scheme, so they're getting paid 19 euros or €1. Effectively, a CE scheme is your dole plus €1 an hour for the amount of hours you work in a week, who's not trained to look after them. So you're just always exploiting workers and having kids, teenagers, and young adults who desperately need help, suffering because of this centralization and this corporatisation model that the government has implemented. And it is absolutely deliberate. It's not by accident.